Yeah, we will be doing it. Okay. Yeah, the difference between the two.
Okay, yes, it's really good.
Yeah, so it's €35. No.
But I can steal it. If I do.
I mean, it's
There is no camera. There is no camera. I already checked. But keep an eye on it.
Lost and found. I've lost a reinforcement. Lost and found is over there on the tray.
Salgasi non mi date la pantalla grande, ¿vale? If you want to see the time, you just pop out. Okay? So we can.
God damn it. Problem is getting the list data in.
It's a lot to it, isn't there?
It's not. It's just how many upgrades there are now, and no one brings. Like Sebastian there, he has a list I can scan, but the problem is it's a French website that I couldn't work out how to export it, so I had to end up building it myself in the only halfway decent website. No, I don't know. No one seems to get it. Everyone. Hopefully, this is something that's going to change with 2.0.
Well, it's all done on the app now, isn't it?
Which means, in theory, it should be better for me.
Yeah, because apparently, literally everything is done on the app.
Yeah.
From what I've gathered.
Well, the problem I've got is that there's so many different list builders, and even those don't all work in the right way. Everyone does a certain thing a little bit different, and so. Hopefully, with the new app, it will be something that I can rely on the fact that everyone's using the same format and the same
so you just need to learn how to
so I only have to use one thing and work with that. And once I've got that set up, then it will just be something I can. Oh Christ! I can just leave alone and not have to worry about, and not take 10 minutes just to get a list up on screen. And bearing in mind that I've got something that does it relatively quickly, but it's just that I need to have an electronic copy of the list. I can't be dicking around with. I've messed up here. I've put the wrong list in.
Well, yeah, obviously you need it electronically so you can put it straight to the screen.
So I can just copy paste.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every single list, not everybody even. It's like sometimes when So it's in Spain. There was one time I just said, look, everyone, because I've actually got some clout there. Bring your list on your app. Do this, do that.
No one listened.
No one pays any attention. It's like, you got it on your list, and they're like, yeah, you got it on your app. Yeah, well, give me. It takes them 5 minutes to find it. Like, everyone's just so used to just using the one that they've got, writing it out on paper, and that's
definitely intrigued to see, what happens with 2.0.
Yeah,
I just hope they put a lot of effort into the app and not half-ass it.
I mean, they are. I know for a fact they're putting a lot of effort into the app. Obviously, the problem is that this is a thing that takes time. You can't just create a full-scale app and deploy it.
Of course.
Yeah. So the situation's going to be a question of them creating a. I am streaming. Yeah. Them creating a. Yeah, you're going to be. Well, see, the thing is that they say here, if the second edition app doesn't have an export function, I will be annoyed. No, because I know that I've got a way around it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I built systems in my old workplace where it was it would just basically you just let the computer running and it would connect, because I worked in a hotel chain. Mm-hmm. Connect to booking.com and check 200 hotels in Barcelona. Every single price they had at 3 months running. So, and that was something I built myself, and it done like 2 hours. We checked 3 months of prices for like 200 hotels in Barcelona, and then correlate that data so I could run it. So as long as that stuff exists on the internet, there's a way I can get it. There's some ways that are better and some ways that are slower, but I can get it. Yeah?
So you reckon the more happens with this app, you'll be able to work with it?
I reckon that as long as there's a link I can put in, I can create a script that will get all the information I need.
That's good then.
Yeah, so that's just the question. I mean, it's just a question of how easy or how hard it will be, which means how much time it's going to take. But yeah, the what was I saying before that? Is the advantage to it is just so when it comes out, it may just literally be your squad builder and that'll be it, and a basic one. But then as time goes on, you'll probably be able to put in your profile data, give yourself information, and save your lists. And then much further down the line, the tournament software will stop being Tome or Cryodex, and they'll have their own one that's a little bit more equivalent. And then that will become meshed into it, not being accessed publicly, but will be interfaced with your profile on the FFG or the Asthma Play profile that you have for going onto the forum.
At the end of the day, it's a big company. You'd think they'd put a lot of effort into it, and it's at the end of the day, it is an app. And it can be changed. It can be worked with.
And it's for things that to future-proof stuff. So for example, like right now with the GDPR problems they're having, right? So the problem they're having is you have to come in, you have to say, yes, I want to do this stuff, okay? And they're having to fill out paper forms and all that sort of stuff. Well, in the future, like I'm saying, is that eventually when the tournament software becomes integrated with the squad builder and stuff like that,
you get your click profile, and submit.
It will be you arrive at a tournament, your app accesses GPS to see that you're at the tournament, and you go, I'm going to check in, and you don't have to go up to a person and fill out a little form. And then your profile for your Asthma Play account will have asked you previously, when you participate in tournaments, are you happy for this information to be shared?
Saves so
and you go, yes,
much time.
yes. And those that goes, no, we can just see, and they can just see, and they have everything ready beforehand, and all that sort of stuff further on down the line. It just makes it a lot easier and a lot better for them. For example, so it gets to the point where you can just check into a tournament, and then that means that they have all the list data from the tournament. Good idea. They can use their tournament collection. They can collect the tournament data in a similar way to what ListBuilder does now, and they directly can be able to sit there and see, right, over the course of this 3 months, this pilot has been played proportionally more than everybody else. Let's see if we have to adjust its cost. Yeah, and then from there, they go into a situation where they can create your profile. Start to build on that, give you more social element to your profile. So for example, another thing people's like for example, experiment with is rankings and stuff like that. Now I'm not a fan of that, because when you start getting so many people in so many tournaments, it ends up favouring the people that go to more tournaments. But what would be cool is that once you've got your profile, and I've said this a couple of times, the people on chat will probably be bored of hearing this, when you go to a tournament like, for example, the System Open in Paris, right? you check into your System Open tournament in Paris, and because your profile is now interlinked with the event data, at the end of the event, you can get an achievement type thing.
I was literally just about to say an achievement thing. That'd be awesome.
When you saw, did you ever play TIE Fighter on the PC?
No, I didn't.
So whenever you completed a campaign, you got like a little ribbon like the army do, and so each one was different colours. So imagine you come up with like little glyphs of coloured ribbons, and on those coloured vertical lines, you put horizontal lines, you put vertical lines that indicate how many wins you had.
That's a really cool idea.
So for example,
really cool
so for example, when I sit there and I come into a tournament, and for example, I look at the top 32 from the tournament, I see your name at the top there, I can click your name and it says Store Championships went 5-0, yeah, Regional went 4-2, System Open went 5-1, and blah, blah, blah.
That's really, that would be a really nice touch.
As opposed to going, this is the best ranked player in the world because he's got the most points. It's just being able, making it personal, making it so that you interact with a person. Yeah.
Everyone loves getting achievements. Everyone loves working towards something.
Yeah.
And something that's outside the normal game of, you know, literally just playing, winning games and winning cool stuff. You've then got the app going, wow, cool, I'm working towards this achievement.
And then it'll just be a question of, if you don't want that sort of stuff, you just tell the app, I don't want it.
Yeah, not interested, leave it blank. But no, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would, you know, like that aspect of it. I definitely would.
So we've got Andrzej playing from Poland. He's, I think he's in the ETC team for Poland this year. I get confused because there's a lot of Andrzejs, but I think it's him. It's in the ETC team. And Sebastian Snachez from France, but he's actually by way of Chile. So his family was from Chile.
Right.
He's been born and raised in France. But of course, he's completely bilingual in French, Spanish, and English. So, well, plurilingual then.
I think he came here and translated for one of the Spanish guys when he was talking to Rasta earlier.
Yeah. That happens. Yeah. So they're confirming that it is the Andrzej from the Polish ETC team. As you've seen there, I've confiscated their mobile phones.
Yes, I thought that was really cool.
That's that's something I've started doing because everyone gives me a lot of stick. The other streams are better, and I'm like, or things like for example, not wanting to name names, but like stuff like offering people the opportunity not to appear on stream. Is something that now suddenly is like, oh yeah, no, you can't make people appear on stream. That's something I've been doing since the beginning, and other people were just kind of like, or for example, you know, if somebody cheated on your stream,
right,
I'm going to share that clip for the whole world to see and make sure I get loads of clicks and loads of attention.
Right. Okay.
So as much as you're using that person to provide content for you, you're then abusing that person. Was my perception on the situation. So I've been since like September 2015. People have been refusing to go on stream, and I've been perfectly happy for it. Like what happened in Italy with the semi-finals. Did you not realise? Did you not twig about that?
No.
Well, in Italy, the semi-finals, the two players.
Someone mentioned this. Neither of them wanted to play, did they?
Neither of the semi-finals were streamed.
See, now in my eyes, I'd be quite dubious as to why you're not wanting to stream.
No, not at all. Not at all. There's a lot of pressure involved, and I 100% support that. And I've seen people's hands shaking when they're playing, and I've seen people make silly mistakes. Like for example, earlier we've seen that Juanjo in the last round forgot his R2D2 to regenerate a shield like 3 or 4 times, and it's just like things are different. I do everything I can to make it as passive an experience as possible.
Yep.
I change the bases so that there's enough that we can see from here without having to go over and check the game what's going on and stuff like that. So I do as much as I can to try and make it a passive experience so that they don't notice it as much as possible. But even so, there's not everything I can do. And I'll comment to it because I shared it on my Facebook page. In the case of Italy, the 2 semi-finalists were Jack Mooney, that declined to appear, and in Jack Mooney's defence, I will mention that Jack Mooney is a very nervous player.
I'll
there's never any time that I approach him at any tournament without his eyes going huge and going, "Am I on stream?" He's dead scared of going on stream as it is, and on that tournament, He's appeared on stream once in the UK Nationals where he played against Simeon.
Yep.
And that was an amazing game because the both of them were like chucking dice super fast. And then that was the only time I ever got him. And then he was randomly paired against Mishari in round 1 of Italy.
Right.
And I saw him move over to the table and I was like, oh, is he going to turn around and tell me no? But he just set himself up and got going. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's done his part. He appeared on 2 games without too much of a complaint, and I wasn't going to force him into it. And I came over and I said, like, everyone else I've seen, no, what it was that I went over to the Italian guy first from the other semi-final.
Yep.
And he's a new guy, he's a young guy, he's 18 years old, and he was just kind of like, well, this is like the first time I've ever gotten this far in a tournament, and if I have to play 2 games, because it was a semi-final, and then the final afterwards, if I play 2 games on stream, I think I might break down. So he asked not to appear on stream in the semi-final. I was like, okay, no problem.
No, fair play.
And then, so I went to Jack and said, what about you? And he's like, I don't want to. And I was like, and it ended up being like me saying, yeah, but the other guy doesn't want to either. And he ended up saying himself, I'll tell you what, I'll roll a dice, and if the dice says no, I don't do it. I rolled the dice said no. So, okay, no problem.
Fair enough.
The only real problem there was that if there's no problem at all that the 2 of them declined to appear on stream because there's hyperspace. But they'd arranged hyperspace to go on lunch at the same time as the semi-final. Because if it wasn't for that, I would have just gone over and grabbed the hyperspace game and just said, there you go, you got a hyperspace game while semi-finals are being played.
Apparently tomorrow they're side by side.
They will be, but
So
there's
Alec was
one.
saying.
Yeah, there's one less round because it's top 32.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Here it'll be top 32, and I think in Italy we just managed to squeeze in top 64. Technically top 64.
Right.
No. I don't know what it was. I think it was top 32 as well, but I think they ended up. I don't know what they did. Anyway, it's 6 rounds, and top 32 is 5 rounds. It's designed to be a top 64. So that's 6 rounds, and they both run parallel, so that when one finishes, it drops out.
Jump straight to the other.
And there was something that ended up making them not run in, like, for example, the top 32 and top 16 finished a lot quicker.
Same thing at Yavin, wasn't it? Yavin
Similar
was
sort of thing,
a bit odd.
because the top games end up finishing a bit quicker. Yeah, whereas the hyperspace is like a Swiss, so a lot more games go to time.
Yeah.
And they excuse me, so they ended up sending the hyperspace to lunch at the same time as the semi-final, and I was just like, I've got no game then. And I ran around quickly and tried to arrange a special interest game. For example, as I was speaking to Jess this morning, and I was saying I try to get as much diversity on as possible, and to demonstrate that. But it's difficult because I have to maintain the concept that I am broadcasting a competitive game. So, for example, I can't put somebody on the table who's not winning, regardless of if they're a girl or a boy, or doesn't have an opportunity to reach the title. Like, for example, in this case, both players are 4-1. They have a possibility of making the final tomorrow. But I can't be recording 3 and 2s. Makes no sense. Yeah.
I get that.
So for the first 5 rounds, I go through people that are on a perfect record. The last round, there's no point seeing people on a perfect record because they've made stage 3 anyway. So we go and we look for people that are 4-1 to try and find out whoever wins this game goes through and the other one doesn't.
A bit more important.
Hyperspace. Yeah, it's more important. There's more weight to the game. And so it's very difficult. And I've only really got a girl on twice before. I had Diana in regional Madrid just by chance, and I had Agata Pikulska from Poland. Oh, I've not put the timer up. Hang on, so 53 minutes left. Agata Pikulska from Poland did very well at the Tatooine System Open last year, and 52. That'll do. I was kind of following her along the line. She'd gone 3-0, 4-0. I was like saying, right, I'm going to go for you on round 5. And she was like, oh, okay. And I said, it depends on who you get paired up against. If you get paired up against someone I don't want to see, then you dodged a bullet. But she got paired up against OJ Hemmings. Right. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And the two of them are like, kind of like, because he's really tall. and she's really small. But both of them have got this very affable personality with the way they play, and so it ended up working out really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, she won that game. She beat him. She totally thrashed him, and she went through. She went through to the next round. So the thing is, it's hard to find that situation. Of all the games I've recorded, I've only ever been able to manage to get a girl on once. Because there's a situation where, if you get a girl on and she loses, everyone's just like, I knew she was going to lose, this girl. And you reinforce a stereotype.
Yeah.
So I have to try and find a girl that wins. So in Italy, I had a very curious situation that there were a couple of girls playing. And so I quickly ran around, bearing in mind they were on lunch break, trying to get a girl-on-girl game. Which sounds a lot worse than it actually is. But what I'm trying to say is that I was trying to get that golden goose that's impossible to get.
Yep.
I'm not allowed to record a semi-final. There's no other games being played. I'm going to see if I can get a girl playing against a girl. And it ended up being not possible because one of them had gone off to lunch and the other one was like, I'm tired of X. So it was like, never mind, no game. So what I ended up doing was cutting the stream and end up editing the videos from the day before to get them all ready to go.
There's a handful of females in the room. So
yeah, but the problem is that I can't record them if they're losing. So they have to be winning.
If no one wants to be on the stream at any point, you might be able to drag some in.
True, but I don't know. Are there any girls that are 4-1 right now? That's the question right now.
There's none in the top. They'll all be like hyper.
That's what I'm saying, and so that's my problem. Is that, and so I said to Jess, I can get you on round 1 or round 2 if you win round 1.
Yeah.
If you win round 2, I can get you on round 3 if you won both. But after that, things don't look good.
It's a tough one. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Because that's about the way it works. It's like I got the Canadian guy on round 1 because he's come all the way over from Canada. I figured that's something interesting. I'll get like maybe some people from Canada might wake up early to watch him.
Yeah.
And I got him on round 1 because if not, I might miss him.
Fair chance. I mean,
yeah, because if he loses that game, then that's it. I can't record him.
It's got to be a tough thing trying to juggle, getting diverse lists, diverse players.
Well, I mean, right now
matchups.
with first edition, the diverse list thing. I mean, we're having an excellent chat here because absolutely nothing's going on in the game.
To be fair, I would this matchup.
Yeah, as far as first edition is concerned now, diverse list is out the window. There's very little diversity at the highest level of the competition, and you've just got to take what you get. It's like in Hanover, I had double ghost on, and everyone complained the whole time. I was like, what do you want me to do? Pretend there aren't any local ghosts? And it was kind of like, well, what happened was I actually had plans for another table to go on stream, but one of the players turned me down, and so once again I had to find someone else at short notice.
There's only so much you can
ran over, picked up 2 names, put them on my table. They turned up. Well, the first one turned up. Hello, my name is such and such. Puts down local fen. I'm like, oh, okay. Up turns up the other person, puts down local fen. What do you want me to do? Turn around to them? No, go away.
Change my mind. No, go away.
Is that? I mean, you're in a situation where it's difficult. So basically, my strategy as far as looking for pairings is concerned is to find, go through the top end of the table, like the top. I try not to go too far, top 10, top 15 tables, and just look for names that I'm familiar with, I've heard from somewhere. But I've not seen before. So once you've appeared on the First Earth channel once, you're more likely to not appear again because I want to try and avoid you.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Because I want to give that kind of exposure to everyone, not just concentrate on the people that are my friends.
Yeah. It's 47 on the clock. 47 minutes.
Yeah, it's running. Everything's okay for now. And so there are obviously situations where certain people make it easier for me, so I can look down a list and see, like, for example, yourself. If I'm in a situation, I look down a list and I see your name, I look over the other side and it's paired up against someone, for example, who might also be from a foreign country. I say, well, I know Shane, I've got a good relationship with him, we've got a good rapport, so I can trust him, I know he'll say yes, and it's just a question of completing the other half of the pairing, and that's it. And so that makes it easier for me, but it doesn't make it like the only thing that I'm working on.
Yeah, of course.
So
it helps that obviously you are quite well known.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing there's quite a lot of people in the room that you know.
Yeah, it's getting to the point. Like, for example, here is okay. Is pretty hectic. But in Italy, it was crazy.
Was it?
You ask the people that went to Italy, like for example, Phil Blackmore. Yeah.
Yep.
Suddenly I went Blackwell. I went crazy. Me and him, I stayed with him for the UK Nationals, and we ended up striking up like a really close relationship because we ended up working out that we were like born about the same time. I'd gone to university in Liverpool. We'd probably been in the same nightclubs on the weekends and stuff like that, and we were just talking about. And we were both, when we were growing up, we were both into the same sort of stuff.
Yep.
And so we ended up building up one of those relationships for life. And he was in Italy, and it was just like. Every time I stuck up a conversation with someone, within 5 minutes another person walked past. It's like, oh, and it's like, and so I was like, never finished the conversation. I was just always going from one person to another. Because Italy was just crazy. It was just like I had all the people from the UK, all the people from Poland that I know, all the
that's it. When you're doing this for so long,
the Spanish guys that were there as well.
A long time to work your way through the room.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been obviously chilling with George in between rounds and stuff. And the amount of people that come up and talk to him, it is mental. I mean, I had one guy come up and ask him to sign all of his 2.0 cards. I was like, really? That's hilarious. Says George, obviously personalising and signing all these cards. And then another lad turned around and says, can you sign mine? Oh, wow. I said to George, your head must be massive
George
right now.
It's like, that's the thing, he's a personality.
He's very humble.
Yeah, but he's, as far as humble's concerned, that's one thing, but what I'm saying is he's a personality. He's someone that's outspoken, is very personable.
You know he's in the room.
Expresses himself, yeah, and so that makes him into the personality.
Nice one for the name drop.
Although I almost messed it up. And yeah, it just become it gets crazy. It gets crazy, and I can imagine what it's like for George going to a UK tournament or coming somewhere like here where like the people have only seen his picture and heard him speak. It must be crazy for him. I mean, I get some crazy days. And someone sent me this morning. I was just like people just send me messages, and it's like saying, "Oh, well done, thank you for what you did." And
oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I was like, "What did you do?"
Someone playing around with Photoshop.
Yeah, they do stuff like this pop art background behind me and some crazy funky glasses on me, and
so cool.
So, thanks for everything. And people come up, and that's the other thing. People come up and give me the cards. Like for example, George at Worlds got a bunch of stuff from the teams and stuff like that, and he ended up giving away on that show they do. I get given a whole ton of stuff, and I try and when I go back to Spain, give it out to people randomly, so it kind of like travels further away from its home. Because I'm the worst person in the world to give it to, because as you all know, I hardly ever play X-Wing.
Well, when you're doing this all the time, when do you get the chance?
Yeah. And that's it. So they keep saying, "Oh, when are you going to start playing?" And say, "Well, maybe when 2.0 comes out, maybe I'll have a go at one tournament." I don't know.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool to see you playing.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
I missed the stream, but would love to see you play. I'm sure many people would love to see you play.
I came close to doing a stream game in Italy by myself, but the pieces didn't fall into place to make it possible.
I was talking to Alec earlier, and he was talking about the UKTC.
Yeah.
And he mentioned about them putting a team together. I said, mate, that would be amazing. See Alec and someone else from the judging of that play it. That'd be so cool.
It'd be Phil now, wouldn't it?
That'd be so cool. Yeah, seeing you play, that would be awesome.
I'm terrible though. There's no point watching me play. I play with the dice.
Put yourself on your own stream.
Yeah.
And have someone else.
I used to do that. We used to because it was when I first started out, and it was like there's absolutely nothing happening in this game. They're taking ages.
Very cagey first engagement.
When it first started out, and it was like still like kind of like developing and experimenting and stuff like that. Like for example, when I started out, that no one was doing the sort of crazy stuff like putting hull and shield icons on the screen. And I was the first person to do that, and that was basically just came about like. It was just a discussion that they have in Spain where they said, I don't think it's possible to do that. Like it would be like a whole bunch of work to keep updating it. I was like, I think I got away. And it was like...
So obviously the software you use, it's all your own...
Yeah.
It's all your own creation, right?
Yeah, this what you're looking at here is all made by myself. Yeah.
That is really smart.
I mean, this is the worst screen because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get the whole list on screen. Just in case I have to edit one little bit of it, I can just find that one bit and change it. And of course, if you can see, there's 8 ships on each side. just in case someone brings 8 TIE fighters.
Yeah, someone brings a swarm.
Yeah, and because that's always been the problem since day one. Make sure you are ready for everything. And then this is where you control the holes in the shield, and the information actually is live on screen.
That's really smart.
That's the MOV tracker, and that's to do with the MOV tracker. It's what controls how much of the script that bar is red and how much is yellow. This is where I import, copy, paste the list, and I keep them all here, so just in case I ever have to go back and get one that's already been on. This is for the leaderboards, but thanks to GDPR, I can't use that these days.
You can't?
No. People have to turn around and tell me that they want their name to appear on screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
So that's it. So we're waiting until the GDPR thing gets streamlined into the whole event process.
That's a new thing, right?
Well, yeah, but it was coming. They knew it was coming for about 2 years, but as far as the events were concerned, we didn't have to do anything about it, and it was just like up until now, it was kind of like experimenting with it. But it's I mean, technically speaking, I'm not a corporation, I'm not a business, so it doesn't really matter to me. But the problem is, I've got to get the information from them.
Yeah.
So I can't do much in that respect. This is where I get the top cut from. When I get a leaderboard, I put it into here. It generates a leaderboard and gives me the top names here. I tell it what type of cut I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Which then brings the names over here. And then when someone wins, I just check the little box here and it moves them over here and moves along.
It seems, really simple to look at, but I'm guessing it took you a long time to perfect this.
Well, this is like the second version of it. So this was what I spent a lot of time working on last summer after they did that GoFundMe campaign, and it took me until December to get it working correctly. It was very much experimenting. But yeah, and the thing was, more than anything, just the presentation, just trying to work out how to get it all laid out on the screen so it didn't overlap the playmat too much. Like, for example, if you go back and look at the Euro Championship I did with George, I was using the old software, and the upgrades would just like end up overlapping half the screen. I had to end up putting them in like as initials, and everyone would turn around and say, what's FAA and what's PTL and stuff like that. PTL no one ever asked, but it's an example here. What are they talking about?
Fingers crossed, something's about to happen. So on Andrzej's NIM, what bombs is he running?
He's running Andrzej's NIM is a bomblet generator.
Bomblet.
And he's got thermal detonators and cluster mines on Miranda.
Okay.
And then Sebastian's got the proton bombs and proton bombs on 10 num and proton bombs and that's it on no thermal detonators on NIM. So we've spent a whole bunch of bombs. Okay, but now things are getting serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 num target locked Miranda.
So shooting.
Looks like we got a harpoon missile coming from.
Miranda should take some. Well, there's the bomblet going off first. Just misses.
Just gets
10
NIM.
Yep. 2 dice for NIM.
One and a focus, and he takes 1 and 1 for Sabine.
NIM first. My NIM first. Yes, you got to the
Looking forward to Sabine in 2.0.
What does she do in 2.0?
So basically, she gets 1 stress, 1 ion, 1 tractor.
Oh, that's right. And she can just
one
assign
something
any
else.
one of them. Yeah.
So as well as bomb effects, she can assign 1 of those extra.
She can pick any one. It's like a token pool she gets.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. 2, 3. Looks like a focus. 2.
2 damage.
And harpoon.
Harpooned. That was an unlucky harpoon from. How do you pronounce his name? Andrzej.
Andrzej.
Crap with foreign
The
names.
Polish people will correct us in the chat now. Andrzej. Rodziewicz. And I'm pretty good with Polish names, but yeah, Andrzej, I've got no idea. Andrzej. Rodziewicz. And here we go.
This is the big one. This should sting.
Harpooning Miranda with a focus result, spends the focus, evades 1, takes 3 damage.
And a harpoon. And now 10 num.
Mangler cannon from 10 num.
Yep.
Can't avoid those crits from 10 num.
It's gonna hurt.
Just wants to get 1 more hit through so that he takes off the shield so the crit sticks.
So
Repeats with a target lock. Blank. So we
Mangler into a
want
crit?
blank from... No, she gets a focus, so yeah, takes it. Blank and crit, and the crit is... Oh no? Oh, there's a no. Oh.
So it's a harpoon,
Right, okay,
then
the
shield,
harpoon, yeah.
then crit.
Structural damage. Structural damage says you reduce your agility value by 1 to a minimum of 0, and he has to spend an action, roll a die to be able to get rid of it.
That is.
That's a bad turn.
That's a horrible crit.
TLT attack from Miranda. I'm guessing.
Guessing Nim.
Okay.
So this is the
Detonates the harpoon.
Yep, this
and
is
gives
the
him a
TLT crit detonating harpoon shenanigans.
on Captain Nim. Regens a shield from Miranda for the second attack. Nothing
Don't
there.
forget the shield on 10 num from the harpoon. Does Nim add the harpoon?
He's got 4 shields. Okay. And they go back to Dials.
Rebel regen.
Tough one.
There we go, look.
J on the end is pronounced like an I, so it'd be Andrzej.
Andrzej.
Like it's like Andrzej.
And yeah.
Andrzej.
Andrzej.
Rodziewicz. And his nickname is Malice.
That's it, it's the jam token as well on Sabine. So it's jam, stress, ion, tractor.
Yeah.
Which I think is really fluffy for Sabine.
My problem is that now I'm trying to work on content to give the Patreon subscribers, so please do support on Patreon at First Earth. And I'm having a lot of difficulty. I'm not having the creative. I'm not getting happy. I'm not happy with the creativity. I'm not finding anything I like. The best thing I've come up with was this. Let's see what you think of that.
It's YV666.
Swipe right, you might understand it.
Well, it's already a win-win for me because YV666 is my favourite ship.
So Morello can go off the edge and come back on.
This is such a nonsense.
So I've done a tack man.
Nonsense.
I've done a
No,
tack
I want
man.
that. I want that. Hands down. If you don't make it for anyone else, I want one of those. That is amazing.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to busting out my YV66 again.
Yeah, when they
flying
said
off the board and come back on, that's mental.
Yeah.
And the whole docking and redocking.
Yeah.
You can do it now. That's ludicrous.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. But no, you should definitely have those made, and I want one. I want first dibs.
Okay. That was one of the things I come up with. I was like, that was the best thing I could come up with. I was looking at Vader, I was looking at a whole bunch of stuff, and the thing is at the moment, basically, I've just copied the 2.0 promos that they're doing. Whereas I really should try and do something a bit more creative, and I'm having difficulty with it. That's where my problem is. So I did that one to just kind of get the idea done. And now I've got to try and come up with an idea, a better way of trying to do it. Making like for example, did you see pass me that bag? The actual cards I did for the Patreon for first edition.
Yep.
I did a really good job on those. of not these ones. It's not that. I'll show you now. It's Darth Vader. So
was that like a 32-bit Vader?
Yeah, there was a pixel artist that let me use the image, and but more than that, it's the thing that instead of using numbers.
No, it's similar to what you do on your stream.
Exactly, yeah.
I like that.
And instead of using numbers for the stats, I put on actual images of like 2 red dice, 3 green dice, 2 blue shields. And
that's cool actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
And so that worked out really well. But then, right now I'm not. Right now with second edition, there's too much stuff, and like you can't indicate the arc using the dice.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of stuck with that, and I'm trying to. It's going to be one of those things that takes me time to think about. Because when everything I do, I always think about it a lot before I do it. And it's just
you want it to be right before you put it out
a question
there.
of me finding out what's the thing I want to do and how I want to do it and how I'll be happy with it. We're just working on that right now. Oh, what is it? What? Oh, they want to know what it is I've showed you. The Pac-Man.
Yeah, it's Bond. It's me. Yeah, Shane. So Simon's been working. Oh, I will show you now.
Oh no, that's the wrong camera. So basically the Morello Evo card
2.0
with Pac-Man.
Pac-Man is awesome.
So because it goes off the screen and comes back on. The other,
which I personally think needs to be made.
Pac-Man should do it the other side. I should change it so you can do that. Yeah, so instead of coming on the same board edge, you come on the other side.
That would be so cool. You have to leave. You have to come back on the opposite board you left, which would just be crazy. That'd be mental. There's going to be so much shenanigans with that shit when it's released.
Yeah. Well, I think there's only one shenanigans that they do with it, and that's the you go off. You go straight off and range on turn 1, and then come back on the board. But, no, but he'll just end up doing like 2 turns in the board cut edges, won't he? Because he'll just like sit there, and go, oh, come and get me. Whoops, I'm over there.
Well, it literally be a case of turn 1, bank or off the board.
Yeah.
Turn 2, come on the side.
Yeah.
Shoot.
The question will
Turn
be.
3, off again.
Now I know there are people out there that do know what the rules are already,
there's got to be limitations to it.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, the thing is that there are people out there that know the rules already. The question is, how will the reserves thing work? If you are in reserves, if you've got no more ships left on the board, but you have ships left in reserves, does the game continue, or is that game over?
That's a fair shout.
And so
to stop people basically going, well, I'm going to keep bouncing off and on the board, even though there's no one left on the board.
Because once you get into the corner, it's just going to be. Because you can just go, look, so let's just do a quick demonstration here on screen as Maris is looking intently at his dials. So you've got your YV, starts down here. Whoops, bit of lag on the controller there. Flies off, comes back on in this corner. 2 turn off. Comes back on this corner. 2 turns off.
Yeah.
Comes back on this corner. 2 turns off and just spends the whole match doing that, just kind of like
never been shit. That would be ludicrous. So quick rundown for the UK players. Rasta's 5 and hold on, what are we on?
This is the 6th round.
So yeah,
Rasta's undefeated.
Rasta's 5-0.
Ed and Patterson are playing off.
Yeah, Ed and Patterson are playing through, so one of them will make. Cormac lost to James Finlayson last round.
And Finlayson's
5-0.
Yeah.
Cormac obviously can still go on. Phil GC lost his previous round, so he's out.
I think he's on 3-2 already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steve Theobald, he's done really well, bless him, but he's out as well, but he's playing his last game anyway. Like a legend. But yeah, not bad. It's unlucky with Patterson and Ed.
Andrew won.
Oh, Patterson beat Ed. Okay, cool.
So they were both 4-1. So now Ed's out and Patterson's
through
to stage 3.
Who's Joey Abs?
Joey Abs is Scott Bryan.
Scott. All right, cool. Why is he called Joey Abs?
I don't know.
Why are you called Joey Abs? Why?
Because he's got some amazing 6-pack. Have you never seen?
Really? I'm guessing it's hidden, right? Yeah.
Or it might be assisted braking system. I'm not sure.
It's a long story. Okay, cool.
He wasn't called that before. Something happened. I don't know, but he used to have a different name, and now he's Joey Abs. Not sure why. He's obviously got
sweet donuts. This is making me want donuts.
Where's sweet donuts? There isn't any sweet donuts there. Oh right, okay. I don't know that one. Because people change as well, eh? Like
constantly changing the name.
Yeah, like someone will have a name, and then like 3 months later, it's like, no, it's me. It's like, oh, really?
So apparently, Keftan, did I get that right? Apparently, you can only do it 3 times.
Is it? Oh, he's got the charge, isn't it? He's got 3 charges.
So that adds a lot more balance to it.
We don't know if there's not a card that allows you to regain charges through some other means.
Because you can obviously regenerate force charges.
There might be like an elite pilot talent that's not been spoiled yet that lets you regenerate your charges. If you've got a little triangle next to it, you can regenerate it automatically every round. But there might be one that would be like that Princess Leia one. That's dumb. Princess Leia is still crap in 2nd edition.
Okay, who's ABS?
I think he's Spanish. I think.
And yes, I am having a lot of fun in France. Only won 1 game of my first 3, but I'm loving it anyway.
Yeah. And so we don't know if there's not a method of regenerating those charges yet. It's like Princess Leia is still a ridiculous card. What is it? You've got to have 3 charges, and you have to spend all 3 charges to allow all your ships to do red maneuvers.
Okay.
And then it regenerates 1 every round, so you've got to wait 3 rounds to be able to do it again. Which, okay, is better than it was before, but even so, it's still a rubbish ability.
But then again, to the points, I mean, what it was before, is it as it was before?
It's pretty much the same thing.
Lorenzo, how's it going, man?
It's pretty much the same thing as it was before. She allows all ships in your squad, doesn't matter about range, do red maneuvers as if they are white.
So I think that's definitely going to be a bigger thing in Epic. Which apparently, from what I've been told, they're putting a lot of effort back into Epic. From what I've been told, I don't know if any of it's true or what they're going to do, but
we'll see. We'll see.
So,
yeah. Clusters went off, and he took some damage from the 10 num. He's down to 2. He's got 3 shields, I think.
1, 2.
You can see 2, but it looks like there's 1 on the image. It's because there's a lot of glare on the screen. When a shadow moves over it, I think it'll be clearer. But yeah, he took damage from the clusters, and that's it, as far as I'm aware.
That bomblet's going to hurt.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's taking so long. Well, no idea.
So Nim's still only taking the 1.
Oh, he has got 2 shields though. I just saw a shadow move over it. So Leia, I mean, is a little bit better than she was, but not good enough to be good. Not good enough to be useful in any way. And that's a shame. I think Princess Leia should be something that's more useful in the Star Wars universe. Just for the person.
There's a lot more that they could do with her.
Yeah. Why not have it that you spend her charges to reduce the difficulty of all maneuvers, meaning that white maneuvers become blue maneuvers. Just for 1 turn, you know? And then maybe if you want to have it so it regenerates, we'll up it to 4 charges.
So, according to what this guy says, Leia is better than she was. It reduces the difficulty of all maneuvers. So does
is that what it does?
Does that what it do then? So if you do white maneuvers, do they become green?
I'd have to double check. I don't remember. I thought it was
because that would be quite good.
I thought it was still red maneuvers. I thought it reduces the difficulty of red maneuvers only. Anyway.
I've not read the card nor have I seen it, so I can't comment. But if it is reduce the difficulty, making white green,
is to be able to find that card, you've got to wade through some stupid imager post or go through Lee Dalton's archives. Oh, direct hit on Captain Nim. He's dead. Yeah, obviously had more damage cards than I realised. And he's got the focus token there. And now he's detonating a proton bomb on Miranda. One face-up damage card on Miranda is a loose stabilizer. No, it's the other one. Major hull breach. Major explosion,
Major explosion.
Oh,
And we have a focus.
nothing.
So can 10 num do it?
Miranda loses a shield. Oh, major explosion was on Miranda, was it? And Sabine took her shield off. Okay. So now they're attacking. So Miranda's down to 2 hit points. But it's 10 num. It's going to be 10 num against Captain Nim.
If 10 num can kill Miranda now.
Captain Nim. 3 hits.
It's not a matter, it's still T. Yeah, but you got 2 dice. You got 3 hits.
Yes.
So 1 and second shot. Yes.
So you chose to change it to Blando.
I can.
Yeah. And
Oh, Die2 is the guy who done that Google Doc. Shout out, well done on that, Die2, the doc that now everyone's ripping off and claiming is theirs as they translate it into various languages. But yeah, it's a good piece, and yes, you're right. I could just go into the Google Doc and search, but loading Google Docs is too much for pain in the bum. It's an excellent piece what you've done, but I need to sync it to my G drive to make it any use, and I'm just a bit lazy in that respect.
So if you're the white Lando, Scott, surely it should be Willando, not Blando.
Blando because of his abs are bland. His showy abs. And the dead Miranda.
Yeah, sadly I can't see the B-Wing bringing this back.
Landers in bland white. Is that what? That's not Scott. So is it Scott's changed his name again?
Yeah, he's Scott's changed it to Blando 20.
No, it's Blando 20. He should
Oh,
change.
I see your logic, I guess.
Yeah, he should change it to sell more cards.
Or WeBuyAnyCards.com.
No, the Google Doc thing is awesome. Like I say, it's a little bit more hassle for me than it's worth. It's not, and that's just me being silly, plain silly. I understand that. But then let's go back to the beginning of this conversation. We were talking about people that just can't use squad builders. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the sort of mentality I'm talking about here. Is that the squad builders are what seem to be one of the most basic and simple things in our community, yet the number of people at tournaments that just don't understand how to use them is incredible.
They're really not that hard though, are they?
No, but it's just, I don't know, it's just everyone likes to just print out their list and that's it. And where's your, if you got it on a squad, I don't know if I can find it.
So...
Oh, we were talking earlier, you might like this. Well, let's wait for the combat to finish.
Nim took a shield off from the cluster.
So hit crit.
Blanks out.
Hitting a crit.
Last shield's gone on. Oh. I guess we missed the 2 shields
it's
previous.
A structural damage sensor array. Damage sensor array. He's down to 1 whole point. Did he just turn it straight down?
Looks like it.
What's that about?
So 1 left.
So down to 1 whole point on the B-Wing. Looks like this game's over for
yeah, I think definitely over.
For stage 3. Yeah, so we were talking earlier about repackaging ships for Wave 2 for a 2nd edition.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you got to buy your Y-Wing again. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but you don't know, do you?
Okay.
Because you can buy the conversion packs,
Right,
right?
but what about Wave 2? TIE Interceptor. Comes with pilots that aren't in the conversion pack.
Really?
Well, imagine it does.
Oh, right. Well, if they do that, that's a bit...
You don't like that idea, huh?
That's a...
Yeah. Then what about if I said
What's the point in the
what about if I
conversion
told you about buying the Wave 2, Wave 3 Rebel Alliance B-Wing? You have to buy a new B-Wing. Not a good idea or a good idea? How many B-Wings do you have?
Me, I think I've got like 1 or 2. See, I don't have that massive a collection, to be fair. I only really fly Scum.
Yeah. So obviously the idea of buying another B-Wing isn't such an attractive idea until I tell you that the second edition B-Wing will have folding wings and a spinning cockpit and spin round its pole. Then you'll buy it, won't you?
Well, yeah, you'd at least buy one though, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Apparently the new Scubs, they're doing a lot like that. I mean, I think the X-Wing, they fold and stuff.
Yeah, the X-Wings fold.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you'd at least want one.
Yeah. That's the point. Is everyone's like no, and then you turn around and you tell them something like that, like yeah, I want that.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, you know.
And it's like,
I'm sure Seb will buy a few Y-Wings, bless him.
Yeah, of course. Seb's already asked me to make sure he gets a Spanish Y-Wing.
A Spanish one.
Because he wants to complete the set again. Yeah, that's it. And I was talking about what about the Ghost when they repackage the Ghost? Will you buy another Ghost?
What are they doing to it?
What if they had a shuttle that actually got docked on and off?
I'd say they stole that idea from Rasta.
You could say the same thing about the X-Wings folding.
Yeah, that's true.
There are
They probably just looked at all of Rasta stuff and goes, right, we'll steal that, we'll steal that.
If they repackaged the VCX for second edition and you could, looks like the Twin Laser Turret game.
That's game.
If they repackaged the VCX for second edition and you could put the shuttle on and off, then you'd buy that as well, wouldn't you?
I think people would.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Shane. It's been an excellent chat.
Yeah,
Had a good time.
Thank you very much.
Right, and I'll go over and get interviews with those two, and that will be the end of our broadcast day, and we'll be back for stage 3 tomorrow.
Thanks very much. Cheers, guys.
That's mine or yours?
Okay, Sebastian. You're looking at me like that for?
It's not the first time in your video streaming, but it's the first time as a player.
Yeah? And how did you find it?
What?
How did you find it?
It was not a problem, the streaming. The game was hard.
It was a hard game,
It's a bad matchup for me, but
that Firestorm special, that B-Wing Nim combo is a fragile cannon. It's got to do a lot of damage very quickly early on to make a big impact on the game and then just mop the pieces up afterwards. And if it doesn't manage that early volley, it just falls apart. Yeah.
It's not an easy squad to play.
No.
It's hard to play, but I think it's refreshing when you see the meta. And I'm happy that 2.0 is coming.
Yeah. Okay. But don't read that. So anyway, what was it about the game? Did you think there was any? What was the point that really tipped it for you in his favour for you? What was the bit where you really felt like you'd lost the game?
Well, it's my first time with the squad.
Oh, okay.
Today, and I really enjoy it because a friend of mine is playing it very well, but he didn't make the cut. I was
Nicolas?
hoping, yes,
Yeah.
the national French champion. I was hoping to make the cut in this last game, and it's hard to play against Miranda because when you have a good player, and I had a good player, you have to think a lot of your placement, and that's what I like of X-Wing, the placement, and he did better than me.
Okay. No problem. I mean, that's just how it goes this time. You would have liked to make stage 3, but this time it's not been possible, huh?
Well, it's not a problem.
Not a problem. But you get to go to hyperspace tomorrow.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe you'll go 6-0 and still get your invitation.
Maybe I will play another list.
Maybe another list, huh? And what?
But I like this one. I really like this one, and maybe yes, tomorrow. I don't know.
Excellent. So just for the people to know, you were born in France?
No, I was born in Chile. Viva Chile!
He's from Chile.
Yes.
So more international we get by the day. We've now had Chilean players on stream. There's a big community in Chile as well, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about how The problem that one of the problems that Chile has is that it's not officially supported by organised play, and that's something that when people have turned around and said that the next World Championships will be invite only is a good thing, not a good thing for those people that don't get organised play. For example, South America, unless you're in Brazil, there's no organised play. Same thing in Singapore, where Justin Trudeau. So just because you're guaranteeing entry to people that have won tournaments doesn't mean you're guaranteeing the best players to participate. The big shout out to everyone over in Chile. I know they had this thing earlier where they were voting for their favourite game, and I think X-Wing came very close to the finals there. And
there's a huge community for the population that it is in Chile.
I found someone today who's from Malta.
See?
And I said to him, how many people play in Malta? Expecting him to say 5. And he said 10. I was like, oh. Because I know Malta's like a really small island. And I was like, 10 people play X-Wing on Malta?
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. That's like GPD, it's like per capita is like saying like 80% or something like that compared to other places.
And I want to say that we are 2 Chilean today.
Yes.
At this Open.
Yeah. What's the name of the other guy? I can't remember his name now.
Alejandro.
Cool. Excellent. We've got Canada represented today.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing really well. Canada's been over to see me. They've given me their little pin. For Canada, when Canadians are obliged to give the little flag to everybody when they go on holiday, and I know this because I was friends with a shout out to Francois Sauvé. He was my friend in London. His father was the police liaison for the Canadian embassy in London, and so there was some naughtiness that we got up to in the embassy basement sometimes. But when you are Canadian, you have to go around giving out these flags to everyone you meet. Excellent. Thank you very much, Sebastian. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for appearing.
Support Simon because his job is great, and all the people who love X-Wing have to support Simon.
Thank you. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Okay. Excusez-moi. Marius, move yourself this way a bit because you're disappearing off the edge of the screen, and that gives me a bit of a better option with the microphone. And a little bit closer, okay? A little bit closer. Excellent, Marius. So well done. You're now 5-1. You're going through the stage 3 of the competition.
I was lucky.
You were lucky, huh? Which other system opens have you been to?
This year?
Yeah.
Only Krakow.
Only Krakow,
yeah.
Huh? All right. So
I was top 16, I think.
Okay. Cool. So you just missed out on the invite.
Yeah.
So now tomorrow.
No, I won hyperspace.
Oh, you won hyperspace. All right. Okay. So you've got the invite.
Yes.
Let's see if tomorrow you can get the plane ticket.
I hope so.
Yeah. You're in the ETC team this year for Poland. Yeah. You've all formed like an excellent ETC team once again. There's a little bit of there's something I wanted to ask you. Being a member of the team. Obviously, Carol wasn't selected this year, so stepped down as captain, and so now Lucas has stepped up into his place.
No, Lucas was also he select other players.
Yeah.
With Carol, and instead of Carol, I need to change.
Okay.
Excellent player, but
so you've got Old Para, you've got Bartosz,
yes.
You've got yourself, you've got Lukasz, Arkadiusz?
No.
No?
No, Arkadiusz won with Ghost, and for Rebel we have Ken.
Okay.
And me, so there's no place.
Oh.
So I don't remember. I will find it.
Okay. I think I could probably find it quicker if I go find the Polish ETC team.
Here.
Oh no, my microphone's falling.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh God.
Well, come on, Marius. It can't be that hard, it's your team. Poland. Ah, there we go. ETC
Maybe
team
you've
Poland.
got better internet.
Yeah, I'm getting it now. Look. So we've got the posters: Lukasz, Damien, Maciej, Andrzej, Tomasz Slan.
Tomasz Slan, yeah.
Yeah. Tomasz
I know
Sovcic.
his nickname, but I
So
remember
he's
his
the
name.
other Imperial player.
Yeah, he got best individual tournament for all regionals. So
Oh right, okay.
he was easy pick.
Okay, cool. So it just means that Karol got edged out, and you've got Artur as a coach.
Yes.
So Karol could have gone as a captain, couldn't he, without playing? Oh no, there's only one person that can't play. It can either be the coach can either be the captain can either be captain and coach.
Yeah.
Or right, okay, so there we go. All right, cool. But anyway, it's a shame. It's a shame to see Karol out of the team for this year, but it doesn't mean he can't come back next year. No.
Yeah.
And we'll see how things go for you in August.
Yeah, it will be really tough.
You've got a tough legacy to defend, huh? You've won both times so far, so fingers crossed that things go well for you next time.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams will go for our heads, so
okay, cool.
we will defend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for appearing on stream. Thank you for taking part in the interview. Good luck tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get to see you again in some other game tomorrow.
I hope so.
Okay.
After the final.
Maybe we have a chat after the final, yeah? Okay, bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that is it. We have come to the end of our broadcast day. I will keep the stream running because it's possible that I'll be able to put up the ranking from the end. But apart from that, you won't be seeing much else from me. But that's it. Thank you for watching today, and we will see you tomorrow. So, cutting off the stream for today. Thank you for joining us. See you all tomorrow at 9 AM for stage 3.